What's up, YouTube? My name's Jack Armstrong. They call me Jack Daddy. It is fantastic to see you today. We love Jesus, we love our family, and we love the outdoors, and we like to build things. So come along as we build things, come along as we try them out, come along and I'll show you how you can build them too. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Are y'all ready?
Oh yeah!
Hey YouTube, today I'm going to show you how I built this nice farm table. Got all the stuff in the scrapyard, said we would. Big shout out to my buddy Jesse over at Benton's in Opp. He ordered us some aluminum restaurant grade chairs, the same ones they have at Benton's. They fit and match perfectly. I built some benches on this side for the kids to sit on. It's an awesome farm table. Enjoy. I'm headed to the scrapyard and we're going to build a farmhouse table out of some stuff I can get at the scrapyard. So I'm hoping they got some good aluminum. I've got like a couple of designs worked up in my head, whether or not they got like round aluminum or some square tubing. I don't know. It's just going to have to be based on what they have at the scrapyard. So. Alright, so I found a whole bunch of aluminum conduit, different sizes. I'm going to get some of that. I think I'm just going to make my base of my table out of round aluminum. Alright, leaving the scrapyard, $41. And I think I got plenty of stuff to build the basis for my table and my benches. Alright, so we're fixing to get to work on laying out the design for the table. I'm going to draw it out on the concrete with some of my kids' sidewalk chalk. I got the X's drawn out on the concrete, and now we're going to work on fitting our pieces to this. So one of them would just be cut off on the edges at an angle, and then the other ones we're going to have to cut, you know, almost in half and do like a fish mouth on it. Here's one way that you can get those inside angles or fish mouths or stuff like that. So basically what I do is I take some cardstock or something hard, tape it around your pipe, and then you just take that off, and that will be the diameter. So then what you can do is you can put this against your parent material and cut out the shape that you need. So obviously if it was just a 90 going in there, you know, you would take 1/3 of this diameter, put it on here on each side, and then cut a 45 into there and you get a good fish mouth. You know, smooth it out, whatever, make it fit. But a lot of times the angle's not going to be just perfect. So with mine it's going to be a cross, but it's not going to be a direct cross. It's going to be more like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out with scissors until I get a perfect fit to this, and then I'll slide this back onto the pipe and trace it out and cut it with my plasma cutter. Alright, so I'm not saying this is the best way, probably not even a great way, but it works good for me. So there you can see I've got it taped up. That's the right diameter as this pipe, and I've got it laid out on my mark over there, and then I cut it to be the fish mouth that it requires to mate up just right at that angle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto my pipe, transfer it over, and cut it. That's going to be for the top side, and then it's going to be the complementing angle on the other, so it looks like one straight piece joining at my X. So as you can see, I got my legs cut out, cleaned up, ready to go. So I'm just gonna make sure I get them exactly where they're supposed to be, and then I'm gonna start spot welding these things, and then once I get them spotted, make sure they're good, I'm gonna go ahead and weld them all the way up, and this will be the most complicated part of this whole table. got the X's built. Both of them, we're gonna clean them up later, but we got them built. So everything's welded up, they look really good. The next step will be to come across these top with our side pieces that the table will actually sit on, and then we're gonna go long ways with some pieces so we'll tie the tops of these things together other than just relying on the wood. Alright, so I got the legs done, they're all welded up, got the top where the table will sit, we'll screw it through these onto the table. Now I'm fixing to do the pieces that stretch it out in between. So I don't know what they're called, but they'll go from here to here on each end of the table. There'll be one at each top and one across the middle where the X hits, and that will be my support. So we got it laid out how it's going to go. This is we're fixing to weld these on, so they're not welded yet. It's going to be the very next step. So we're going to get these welded where they go, and then we're going to put this middle brace in, and then we're going to put some leg extensions to come out to make this thing where it'll be real sturdy both ways. So everything's welded up on our actual table part. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut some V's in these legs. I'm going to lay a piece of channel, like upside down or however, on the side. And that will be to extend these out to give us a better stable bottom. What I've done is I've notched out these edges and then cut some 1.5 inch angle. And I cut it at a 30-degree angle on the edges because it's going to sit like this. And I'm going to cap these on each end, grind them smooth, make it look real nice. And I'm going to weld these into these grooves that I've cut for that. This is the base, everything's welded up. What we're gonna do now is kind of sand it, grind it smooth, get all the rough edges taken care of, but the frame itself pretty much is done. So we got our metal part done, and now we're fixing to work on the actual wood part of the tabletop. So what we've got is some pine that I went and got some select pine that look really cool. Some of it even looks kind of like burrow maple, you know. And what we're gonna do is we got it laid on this flat surface of our cardboard. And we're going to glue the seams and then use some bar clamps and clamp these things together. Get them good and tight. And then we're going to lay a piece of plywood. I got some 3/4 inch birch plywood. It's real solid, real heavy, real strong, whatever. And we're going to put that on top of it and shoot some nails after we glue it. So we're going to put some glue and then put the plywood on top of the glue and then shoot some nails in there. And then we're going to let it set up for a day or two. While it's curing, drying, we're going to be sanding on our base and get it nice and smooth, maybe even start working on our bench a little bit. So now we're going to work on the benches. And, I've got my square drawn right here for the height of the bench, and then what I'm going to do now is decide how I want my legs, and I think I want them at an angle about like that. So they'll still be sturdy at the top, but have a real wide base. So I'm gonna use my angle finder with the lines that I drew that I know is square. And then I'm gonna transfer that to my miter, and I'm gonna cut them on each end. All right, so now we're fixing to make some fish mouths, and these pieces right here, that's gonna go in between the bench supports like that. So this is basically what it looks like mocked up. So somewhat of an A-frame, so it'll sit kind of like that, I guess. Put that in between, and then we will have a piece that goes from here to the other side of this bench. So I'm gonna have two benches. So I've got to make 4 of these. Alright, so on the bottom side of these, I went and got some of these rubber feet, and what I've done is I've drilled a hole in the bottom of this cap I welded on, and then I've tapped it with 8x32 threads. And then I got some stainless 8x32 screws, and I'm just putting just a little bit of Gorilla Glue on there, and then I'm putting these on there and screwing them into the holes that I threaded. And that's just going to help it to not mess up our floor, and it'll be better than just getting those little felt sticky pads that a lot of people put on there. Alright, so there's a tabletop. We just got it turned over. Everything looks nice, glued up real good. Next step's going to be to sand that. What we got now is we're going to route the edges. So we're going to have a piece of 1.5-inch angle aluminum trim the whole edge, but we don't want the aluminum to sit up. We want the aluminum to be flush with the tabletop. So we got the final sanding done. We got our channels cut, or our end caps cut. You can see we just used a router and with a guide clamped onto the table, and all the way around we got 1.5 inches. So that's where our 1.5 inch aluminum cap will fit. Now the next step is to stain this thing. This is what we're using: Minwax wood finish. I don't even know how you say that. And now I'm putting on this polyurethane stuff. It's Minwax one coat polyurethane. It's not quite as glossy as some, but it works really good, and it don't take near as many coats. But I might put 2 more coats on there just to make sure I got a real nice thick surface on top, because it's going to be a table, so it's going to get oil and grease and water, and we've got kids, so it's going to get a bunch of junk on it. Alright, so we moved the table inside. It started to rain outside. Get away from that, and we got a fan blowing out the window, and fixing to sand it, and then we'll put our second coat on there, and then we'll sand it again and put our third coat on there, and that might be enough. We're just gonna have to see how it goes. We got all our welds cleaned up with stainless steel brush. I'm gonna go ahead and drill my holes everywhere I need to drill them, and then tomorrow all we're gonna do is sand everything to give it a brushed aluminum, like a uniform finish. Alright, so we got the tabletop on the base. Now I'm screwing it in, and we'll be done minus staining our benches. We still got to stain the benches and put some polyurethane on them, but the table part will be done.